Okay, well, if you're still here, then you really won. You won poetry. And we have a really special thing happening in this hour. It's actually the, what do you call it? Yeah, we're auctioning dates off, actually. So at the end, we're going to line all the poets up on stage in this hour and auction them off. So pay attention really carefully to which one you'd like to go. And so Becca's going to introduce our first reader.
So our first reader would like to be taken on a date to the Russian tea room and go for a walk in the steamy hills of Central Park. First person is Mel Elberg. Woo! Please welcome Mel Elberg to the stage. Mel Elberg. Mel Elberg is a faggot and a friend making love with God and chaos via poetry in all its unchecked imaginary formulations.
The final hour.
We made it. I'm very happy to be here, like so happy we're in person, and Happy New Year's, and thank you everybody for staying. Okay, short poem, soul music. Ooh, sorry, long day. I lay on a long, invisible strip of dream where my friends feed me music. I live for a while as a tiny particle of a great stream of my friends' music. My friends' intensely particular silk and sand way of bringing worlds to light. They talk in a sound like singing. I live for that. Lay in a long and dreamlike river, announcing that the song I see part of myself in knows. We get laid to the music and let it grow inside us. Happy New Year.
All right, thanks, Mel. So our next reader would like to be taken on a date to the bi-coastal version of Happy Fun Hideaway. Ivana Baranova, poet and interdisciplinary artist based in Los Angeles, is the creative communications coordinator at the Poetry Project and author of Confirmation Bias from Metatron Press in 2019 and Continuum forthcoming from Metatron Press in 2023. Please welcome Ivana.
So Mel, you might not realize this, but I decided what I was going to do based on what you read. I didn't know what I was going to do, and I was like, maybe I want to sing a song, and then your poem was about singing a song. So it's lullaby time. It's bedtime now, so I just decided I'm going to sing a song I love. It's called Angel Baby. It's just like heaven being here with you. You're like an angel, too good to be true. But after all, I love you, I do. Angel baby, my angel baby, when you are near me, my heart skips a beat. I can hardly stand on my own 2 feet, because I love you, I love you, I do. Angel baby, my angel baby, ooh, I love you, ooh, I do. No one could love you like I do. Ooh,
I'm sure you'll come back home because I love you, I love you, I do. Angel baby, my angel baby, ooh, I love you, ooh, I do. No one could love you like I do. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Thank you.
Wow. Whew. So beautiful. So, our next reader would like to be taken out to Second Chance Saloon. Anna Cataldo is a musician by day and writer by night. She lives in Brooklyn, New York. Please join me in welcoming Anna to the stage.
Please don't take me to Second Chance Saloon. Thank you. Ivana, that was so pretty, I'm swooning. Mine's gonna be much uglier than that. Okay. Visualize the beloved before the green flash. You are a seaside. A fish comes around swimming with smooth stone in its mouth. Says, you remember what this is like. There is before in every direction. Everything wet with logic of blue. Everything blue as if it were wet. Even the Forsythia and Fort Tyron are blue. Even the golden sun, it is blue. It is the green flash, says the fish, as practical dead of the tool company nod knowingly from the rocks. And another calls out to them personal questions, cuckooing the hour of the tide. The mulla answer uglily in secret. She rides them like a fine-boned lizard on the back of a great bird. She whoops and sings to the salty wind. Fish is for sale at Cracker Jack's on Fridays, and the flowers here will always be fresh. Thank you.
And our next poet would like to be taken on a date to the Vale of Kashmir. Ida Muratoglu is a poet and essayist living in Brooklyn, New York. Please welcome Ida.
Hi. It's an honor to be up here tonight. Okay. When you go, can you bring me back a handful of rain? 1. The lust for meaning as the world ends, astonishing, like the hunger for it embarrassing almost. Need for language, close-knits, diets still. Our air smells like rabbits now, their fur fresh, eyes wide, lips tucking. Don't mind the sparrows at early morning, their tiny feet jaunting the rooftops. 2. The up of our buildings, down of our meals, inside wide of the water pouring out of faucets. It's the same water as it is, onwards, forever. Sappho licked the bathwater. June Jordan swam in the water for tea. Mick Jagger breathed the river water. It washed his hair the single time he washed his hair in the 70s. 3. Snow in the park, Hank in his snowsuit at the playground that Anzia has their first memories at. My neck growing sore from his 2-year-old weight on my shoulders. A real snowstorm in the Northeast in January. A cold day, Long John's Day. 4. It rains. Marjorie Kemp rain. The rain that fell into her spine as she fucked Jesus on their way to Bethlehem. Mary watching, God too. Rain that spins and turns on sidewalks and into gutters. Who in my neighborhood cold in these freezing nights? 5. Misty meaning, misted meaning, curled and relentless meaning, the touching of the water, the torching of the linens, the weaving of the garlands, in the forest, sex under trees, pine needles and pussy, all that water, rain. Happy New Year.
Our next reader would like to be taken out on a date to the Museum of Illusions. Rachel Allen is a poet in New York and sometimes North Carolina. Please welcome Rachel.
Hiya. Happy New Year. Like James, I wrote this this morning. This is augury, not prophecy, a technology of procreation in sage, kinship in the age of assisted reproduction, stands green in the sill of stopped time, against fragments for a history of the human body, aubergine edition. It freaks divides, part 1 of a vertical axis regarding what aligns mortal and divine. The tattoo in my mouth that says mother when my lip folds down, like a fawn feigning race in the morning after, retching the reaching down into ourself, where the curve of our breast belies doleful willing, but before that bolsters the upper register of chest. What matter supports without inspiring, supplier breast. Read backwards, it forms a typology, cast in marginalia. New material, miraculous lactation, vampiric zombies, bed of roses, this dummy breast. Happy New Year.
Our next poet would like to be taken out right to the front of the picket line. Please welcome Jim Burrell. Jim is the co-host of Bad Animals on WFMU Saturdays from 6 to 9 a.m. Should be starting pretty soon. And the host of Showy McShowface Mondays from 3 to 6 a.m.
Hello, kitty. I am sitting in a room. The wing store sold out of wings. I'm not talking about chicken wings. I'm talking about giant fucking angel wings. Sweatpants fetish. Like Eileen Miles, all my poems are to be read in a Boston accent from now on. I am sitting in a room, different from the room that you are in now. Chelsea Ho. The T, E, and L on the sign are out. I'm recording the sound of my speaking voice. I called you back to a place beside me. At the end of the world, in the beginning of the elegy, all the other ballerinas are trying to sabotage me. And I'm going to play it back into the room again and again until the resonant frequencies of the room reinforce themselves. Tonight, I'm thinking about Seamus Haney digging how much I loved sexy texts. The answers are in that room. Receive this weary penitent, the grinding engines of the universe, the crushing boredom of eternity, so that any semblance of my speech, with perhaps the exception of rhythm, is destroyed. A dark curtain of reality is pulled back to reveal an Orange Julius. My collected poems will be entitled Small Dick Energy. Come on, skinny love, just last year. It's all a descent into matter-of-factness. I want to talk to Ben about this whole Ben dying thing. I tried a Ouija board, but all I got was a busy signal. Who are you? Who am I to you? I am the Antichrist to you. Ben's eyes looking up at me as I scream his name. Everything's like a hidden track on a CD, like getting my ass kicked in a Waffle House. I regard this activity not so much as a demonstration of physical fact, monkey eyes by the sea, a flat Sprite in Iraq. Oh, tell me more, assistant professor. But more as a way to smooth out any irregularities my speech might have. Select all pictures with motorcycles. You have to imagine Doug Rothschild screaming from the front row some of these lines. I regard this activity not so much as a demonstration of physical fact, but more as a way to smooth out any irregularities my speech might have. Select all the pictures with streetlights. What I wouldn't do to be covered in bedbugs with you again. Fucking hang that in the Louvre. Black Wings has my cheeseburger. It's just you and me now, Cocaine Bear. Even the Buddha has forsaken you. Doug is lying in a room different from the room we are in now. Ben is lying in a crypt different from the crypt we are lying in right now. Poetry died 100 years ago, different from this poem that is dying in a different way. You're here now because you survived. Happy New Year.
Our next reader would like to be taken to Greenwood Cemetery to commune with the spirits. Laura Henriksen is currently a senior at Woodsboro High. Get on stage, Laura.
Thank you. I did wanted to say before I read this poem how much it is the case that working at the Poetry Project is truly the honor of my life, and for so many reasons, and many of those reasons are reading in this hour or are sitting in this room. And another really central reason why it is so important to me is because Bernadette Mayer worked here, and I've thought about her so much today and felt so grateful for her and for you and for this chance for us to all be together. So thank you. People I look up to attend the service, melt at the movies, cry a lot, carry on often. People I look up to transfer at Atlantic or wait for the bus. When you sleep, they are thinking up new angel numbers, designing costumes based on puns. People I look up to dangle their ankles over the precipice, which is language, hold my troubles, call them rubies, hold my love, and line at the post office to ache at such a rare social space. Man, people I look up to are so smart. If it floats, I'll float on it, they say, paraphrasing an old poem. People I look up to say, actually, most people really love to help each other. Happy New Year.
All right, we have 2 readers left. And the next reader is very near and dear to my heart. She really wants it all. She really wants to be taken to the rave and discuss the revolutionary potential of lyric, but only if you can keep up. Kay Gabriel is a poet and essayist, and she lives in Queens.
Happy New Year, everyone. I want to echo one thing that Laura said. Working here is a real gift, and I'm really feeling it. And my heart is so full. It is gaping. Still. Improbably, this is a love poem. And the only thing that you need to understand before you hear it is that Brecht referred to Percy Shelley as his brother because Brecht hated LA as much as Shelley hated London, apparently. It's called We Go to Things. If I get fake and big, kind of fake, but really big, like Julia Roberts in Notting Hill, identified mostly when she's buying stuff. If I move to LA and regret it, like Brecht, but obviously mostly not like Brecht. If I forget myself, I mean. It'll still be true that you crashed into my life when Ryder said, "Do you two know each other?" As if it was a joke that two speeding Canadians at a kind of dismal Bushwick venue might not. Actually, I almost stayed in that night. I was so tired, the night so wet and unappealing, nobody interesting on the decks anywhere. I guess I would have bailed if Becca didn't have Coke and the Spectrum still enough pull to get us into the cold. An awful December. So we met scientifically because of supply lines, the CUNY Grad Center, and how the J train runs down Broadway. Settlement patterns in the Ottawa Valley, where we were both born in different neighborhoods in the same third of the same decade, where, had we met, we might still now love each other in a different way, though really I fear you would have caught me in my scarf phase. Also because of diamond mines, pass laws, and pogroms. Can I say that? The fur trade, the St. Lawrence River, the collapse of ostrich farming. My grandfather in Johannesburg, 1962, heard about a job in Montreal. The Quiet Revolution, Bill 101, the Quebec student strike. We met because Toronto is culturally pathetic. Because you hated Berlin. Because of training, mess, and heartbreak in our rented rooms on Halsey Street. Because I met Ryder through Becca and Becca through the Dream House, and therefore also because of the Dream House, where, though I don't have proof, I think we must have passed each other on the sloppy wide staircase, or the couches, or the sluggish line for the world's most flooded bathroom. Two dizzy souls like Lucretian atoms set to collide, but just not then. The night we met, I remember you so drunk at the apartment we later called the boys' place, you looked like you were disappearing into it. And how must I have looked to you, my other Shelley? Defiant or high, or asking forgiveness. Another person with opinions and putting her gay back to the book of life. Did I make you laugh? For 3 more months we were neighbors, we barely saw each other. Now, all the time, we go to things, we weep, we walk another way. Crybaby sluts for grace, or doing teshuva in a stall. That night isn't for you the hinge of our love, and how could it be? A night out, you meet so many people. Thanks.
Oh, what a testament to the joy of this place that is able to contain so many poems of the devoted love of friendship. That is so special. I would be, of course, remiss to not be thinking about Bernadette Mayer across this day, and particularly her text Utopia, of which Kay and many of the project we've read alongside each other, and the perfect day for me, quite literally for the past 10 years, has been the marathon, and we are so lucky to have that be facilitated for us, for little utopias like today to be facilitated by these people right here. So our final delightful reader of the night, would like to be taken first to the Russian-Turkish baths, then to Mood to explore only the most experimental fabrics, and finally to the suspension hole at Open Movement Day at Performance Space. Please join me in welcoming Kyle Takuyan to the stage. Kyle? Kyle Takuyan says goodnight.
We have one virtual volunteer who's closing out this event, and she's based in Tokyo, where I guess it's lunchtime. So this is my lunch poem for you, Catherine Dale, and it's called Christmas. Took a tab, 2 baths, hypnosis, took a bus to People's Beach, kelp washing up like old romance, took note of color, of filaments departing, winter pelicans, various other holiday solitude, took myself to task, recalling you are never the only person who has an idea. What begins in what you think is novelty becomes fraternal with someone disappearing. The stranger carries with them what you don't know how to put down, much less name. What a city is at least occasionally relief in between survival, rare glory, mundane calamity, even or especially here at its coast where dreams go, grief, intention, memories of endlessness. The moon rises. The way you can never take its picture, though, of course, you want to, is how I feel for language, physical regard for a mystery that comprises me, like an organ in relation to a mind. Sometimes I say something precisely because I do not understand what I'm saying. This year, instead of a resolution, I dream a word. It isn't narrative or visual or a feeling or a symbol. It is honor, just that, something I know nothing of. Dark like a beach beyond its seasons of pleasure, bright with freedom from the fear of how will I arrive where I need to go. Need dissolves, then going I do. What drugs do, you take them, they take you. That vast plane of objecthood at the edge of habitual single subject. Standing here, I'm hoping everyone remembers the first time someone made them feel beautiful, how beauty feels moving through you. Out, now it's not the beach, I'm at the orgy, Christmas orgy. Often I'm afraid my antennae are directed to who I perceive doesn't know how to be here. No one anywhere does. But tonight it turns out I do know this person, or did. We're trying to figure out what surprises one another. Surprise, I'm staring at you, and right, we went to college together. Timmy, well, no, I'm Tim now. Oh, Tim, okay, I'm still just Kyle. Are you laughing or gasping when I'm at your neck? I never know myself. Good. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Tim says. I'm sorry, I'm just feeling sort of, no, I say. Self-conscious, he goes, of course, yeah, I've been there. I say, do you want to get away a second? Yes, yeah, I think that would be good. Sure, it's just, he says, I haven't really done this sort of thing before, and I thought I wouldn't know anyone, and then but we hardly write, but I had this idea, and it was years ago, 10 years ago. I just had this idea I was going to be in a different place tonight, and then I'm with you, and it puts me in this place I was 10 years ago, and I don't want to be in that place anymore. Yeah, when I knew you then, I felt like I would see you at these parties, and I didn't think of myself as someone who was very good at making friends. So I never felt like we were friends. Oh, I never thought of you that way, though, yeah, but I did, of myself. I always thought you seemed great. I think you seem great now. I think I'm probably going to go now. Yeah, good night. Tim. Orgy, good night. Red lanterns, revelers, tennis courts and gargoyles, beautiful people eating dinner alone, shopgoers at the tchotchke marts. We think we'll feel someone forever from things alone, or we want them to feel us, and this is why we give them to them. We put into things the ideas of places, a place in time. This moment I wanted to say, you make me want to think. Even now, as thinking escapes me, hope persists. I hope that time is revealed over time. Though I am opening nothing today, this has not been a year without gifts. Of course I'm opening, I always am. I'm talking out of my ass, but it comes from the heart. And when I say thank you, I mean it, I really do. Thank you, thank you.